Hey guys, welcome back to 𝙈𝘖 here today with a new video. Today, something very cool. We are seeing how fast can you cross the map in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The map twice as big as it used to be in the previous game. Thanks to this tweet at 𝙈𝘼𝙓 𝙎𝙒 under his tweet, Dawson Moore asked how long does it take to get across the map, which people didn't really seem to have an answer. Nobody really knows because there is, of course, a traversal upgrade tree. And a caveat for this video is that I wanted to make sure to get swing speed 3, as you can see here, the max swing speed upgrade. Now we're going to be running that also in tandem with aerial escapades, a separate skill in the combined shared skill tree for both Miles and Peter. This is the middle one at the very bottom, and what it does is it allows you to recharge your spider jump and spider dash by doing air tricks, also like diving and taking wind tunnels and stuff like that. But I'm trying to mainly exploit aerial escapade's skill by doing air tricks, and I kind of found that I do think the air tricks slow you down for sure, but doing the front flip one I think kind of keeps your momentum going. On top of that, this is with assistance at 7. So if you don't know, there's an accessibility setting for swing assistance. The higher it is, it's more like video gamey and fake and like rigid. Still good, but that's like how it was in the old games. You can change it anywhere down all the way to 0, where like it'll let you hit the ground. It'll actually physic attached to something, so if you swing to a building beside you, instead of swinging straight down the street, you will swing like into the side of the building. It makes it harder, more skill based, but also presumably you can get going a lot faster because it's more physics based, less hand-holdy. I'm at 7. I think all of these times you could probably do faster if you were playing on like, you know, anywhere from 2 to 5 or whatever. But I'm slowly lowering it down. I kind of found that like 8 was not bad, you know. I don't really care that much, so blasphemy. But anyways, all of that out of the way, those are the skills that you're going to need for just, you know, getting the fastest you can possibly go. So what we're actually doing is, first off, we are starting at the very, very bottom of like the Manhattan Island. And here I go. I'm point launching. As soon as I point launch, we'll start the clock right there. And we are off. Now, let's keep in mind this is very far, so we're going all the way from the bottom of the left island all the way to the top. So, you know, from the bottom of Manhattan all the way, you know, past Harlem to the very, very top. It's not going to go as easy every time, as you just saw. And there's some really hard spots, like this one is super open when you hit this area, so I had to retry from there as well. But after a few attempts, I found the sweet spot. We're going almost 6 kilometers in-game here, all the way from the bottom to the top of the island. And we get moving pretty good, I gotta say. The speed is insane in this game. It almost doesn't even translate to video as how fast it really is. You can see there the air tricks definitely do slow you down, but I think the trade-off is worth it because in spots like this, you really need that air dash to get across to maintain your speed. Like, that gives you a burst of speed back, which probably makes up for the lost speed doing the air tricks, but also just crossing that gap where there's not that many buildings, you need that dash to be able to do that. There's also times where I'll start to lose height, and you can sacrifice a bit of time for that jump right there. You do lose a little bit of speed doing that, but you gain height, which the main thing here is that you're always so close to the ground. But look how fast you get going. After the dash, you're going so fast. Anyways, you're always so close to the ground that one little mistake will end the run for you. So here's Times Square. I go through Times Square. This is where one of my runs ran out. There's a pretty big gap there in the middle of Times Square. Makes it a little difficult. But I'm always just, you know, trying to stay close to a building and as high up as I can. Diving gives you a bit of speed, but the dive itself kind of slows you down. Like when you actually enter the dive animation, it's a little slower than if you were just flying forward. But it increases your speed on the swing. It's kind of a give and take. I'm still finding the sweet spot. Like, of course, I played the first game a lot, but things are amped up in this game. And right here on Swing Speed 3, I just got this like tonight just to try and make this video for you guys. So I'm not, you know, fully used to the insane speeds. I also don't even use the dash that often when I play normally. I just like swing around, you know, more chill. I forget that it's there. But if we include a couple jumps across some cars, you know, we lose some speed right there for sure, but I didn't want to scrap the entire run just for the little hop and a skip on a car there. I don't think it cost us that much, maybe a few seconds. But we are here, so we stopped the clock here. For me, it worked out to about 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Now that's all fine and dandy, but after this, I decide we need to push it to the absolute limit. We did all the way from, you know, the bottom of Manhattan to the top of Harlem. We need to go from the top left of the map, the very top of Harlem, to the very bottom right of the map, downtown Brooklyn. So we're gonna point launch from the very top left of the map, far corner, to the very bottom right, bottom corner. 7.5 kilometers, the furthest you can go in, you know, one straight line across the map in Marvel Spider-Man 2. So how long does it really take to truly cross the map? Now, another little goof up, it's not the easiest thing. And if you want to take a look at the last run while this one's going, the speed that I worked it out to be was, it took me about 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and that was to go 5.9 kilometers. Now, the time on screen might have been a little different than that, but generally that's what it was. So to be doing that much distance, that much time, I was at an average speed of 156 kilometers an hour. And of course, that's an average speed, and spoiler, that is the low end of what you're going to be seeing in this video. Now, you see me using the wingsuit a bit more in this one to sort of go east to west more, because in general, most of these wind tunnels are east to west, and you can see right now, the speed you reach with those is actually much faster than you can get with just swinging. I mainly tried to do this all by swinging though, like, you know, swinging focus, not just Superman gameplay focus, not just wingsuiting around. We want to be Spider-Man, you know, we want to swing. That's where the fun is. That's what it's really about, is how fast can you swing across New York. So I tried not to use the wind tunnels or the wingsuit really at all, but in sections like this where you are going east to west, I decided, you know, throw it in every here and there if it can make my speed faster in general, just when you're in an actual wind tunnel spot like that. But if you're wondering, later in the video we do test straight up like 1-to-1 with using the wingsuit and without using it at all. So we're going to do a different section where we do the same distance twice. Once we wingsuit like as much as we can, once we just swing. And that sort of, you know, proves more or less that the wingsuit is faster. But in general, most of the time in the game you're going to be swinging. So I think as a metric, swinging is the better thing to measure how fast you can go from one place to another. Now this, like I said, is the furthest possible distance on the entire map. 7.5 kilometers, we're still not even, we're like halfway right now. But we have to cross the water. And so you see I'm mixing in these air stunts because that'll fill up my dash and my jump. So if I want to do that, I can do a nice little dash. Now here's where we have to cross the water, and now there are a lot of spots where there'll just be a straight wind tunnel across. But like I said, I'm trying to swing and just swing. So we're just going to swing, and we're not going to wingsuit as much. And then if we go this way, if we fit in a few air tricks, we can cut diagonally across here. And close call. And shave off some good time. Another dash in here. We get real low. We're skimming, but we're making it. And this is pretty much the home stretch here. Now that you're across the water, you can really get moving pretty good. And we're almost to the very bottom side of Brooklyn here, all the way from top left to bottom right of the map. Little bit of wingsuiting, but as you can see, it is faster than swinging for sure. But again, we'll measure that later. But in general, I want it to be swing heavy. Here we are, we're at the fair, we're at the carnival just in time, and blammo into an invisible wall. Now, I struggle a bit to get around this invisible wall, but we're gonna call the timer there. Now this one was the big one. This was 7.5 kilometers in about 3 minutes and 12 seconds, moving at 140.6 kilometers per hour, about 87 miles per hour. Not the fastest, like I said, this is on the slow end because there is, you know, some slow sections. It's also, this is more of like a marathon, it's so far. And the stuff we're going to be looking at next is more of like a sprint, because now, after we get some seafood, we're going to be measuring just east to west, crossing the width of just the Manhattan Island. So just from like Harlem and the Upper East Side, we're just going to go across the width. So how far to get across? It's about 2 kilometers, just straight across the island. This one, you know, compared to these other ones, pretty short little jaunt, I do say so myself. Just about broke my dang neck on that bridge, but we're good. Big jump, big dash, and you can see here when it's a shorter distance, it's easier to maintain this insane pace. And this wind tunnel in front of me, I could make this faster, but this is swinging after all. The wind tunnels, for the most part, always are like east to west, so it's faster just in general to cross the map across than it is up and down, north to south, if that makes sense. Most of the wind tunnels run east to west. And here we are, so pretty quick. Right to, we'll call it there on the pole. That one was pretty quick. Now, like I said, that's just the one island, but how about the full width of the entire map? If you're wondering for the speed on that one, that was about 44 seconds to do 2 kilometers, so about 160 kilometers an hour, about 100 miles per hour. And now we're going to start on the far east side of Queens and go all the way across the water, across all of Hell's Kitchen, and end on the far west side of the Manhattan Island. So from the far, far right east side to the far, far west side of the map, the entire map, how fast can we do it? So here we are, and we're gonna just go, like I said, east to west, straight across. Now this one potentially is like a mix of wingsuit and webbing, swinging. This is a mix. We're gonna throw the wingsuit in here and see how it goes. Not the entire time, but just in general. And then we will compare that to just swinging. So you can see under the bridge we've got a nice wind tunnel. So if we go to wingsuit, we can go much faster. This is where we start getting some insane speed. So on the next run, we're gonna only use the wingsuit for this little section on the bridge part, but then not in this section here, which in this run, we're gonna basically fly this tunnel straight across all of Manhattan side, just straight across Hell's Kitchen, east to west, the entire island. This tunnel, like I said, it runs just almost all the way across. We can break out of it there and finish the last like kilometer on our own. This one's about 4 kilometers, this distance from the full map across. So there's that one, pretty fast. We'll call it up here after the jump. A little bit of a spurt, a little speed drop there, but we'll call it right there to the end, and then we'll try again, just swinging this time. So we're gonna wingsuit a bit on like under the bridge to get across, but we're then only going to swing through the rest of the city instead of riding that wind tunnel all the way across like we did on the last one. So for that last one, that was, like I said, about 4.1 kilometers in a minute 14, which means in that last clip I was hitting an average of 200 kilometers an hour, 124 miles per hour on average. Now this next one, not to spoil it, is about 11 seconds longer, so about 173 kilometers an hour and 108 miles per hour. So a full like 25 kilometer per hour average drop off if you're just swinging and not using the wind tunnel while wingsuiting. Now of course that's in a wind tunnel, so if you're normally just wingsuiting in between swings or something, it's not going to be as fast as taking the wind tunnel. I do also get shot at a bit in this one, but in general the swinging is slower than just flying through the tunnel by, you know, a 20 kilometer per hour average, more or less. I lost about 11 seconds on the whole run, so that kind of shows the difference between swinging and wingsuiting. At least when you can, if there's a wind tunnel, it is faster to take wingsuit over swing. But here we are at the end, and that pretty much concludes it. That was all the way north to south on the big island. That was all the way east to west across the island, and then east to west across the entire map, as well as diagonally across the entire map of Spider-Man 2. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. I'm going to be putting out some more Spider-Man videos and just gaming videos in general all the time. There's a lot of cool new games. I do a video every other day, and it's pretty much always a different game every time if you're new to the channel. So you can find some really cool hidden gems, you can find some stinkers to laugh at, you know, it's a good time. But in general, Spider-Man is it's so good. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is amazing. This video was a decent amount of work, and I had to kind of grind out to just focus the traversal tree and then practice these routes until I had a good run. These are not the fastest also. I'm not going to like brag that I'm the fastest swinger. These are the best times. Can you beat my time? I guarantee you can top all of these times by... These are probably like 70% of what a good run should be. They were more or less my first successful attempt all the way across, I called it. It's more to represent like an average. I do still want to do a video on like swing assist and just measuring if I just swang the exact same route with different levels of swing assist and tried to keep it as like comparable as possible, as rigidly like when I swing and when I let go and stuff like that, and run data on that. And I've got lots of ideas, so if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 6,000 subs by the new year. I think that would be awesome. If not, that's all fine. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you're a legend. I appreciate you. Comment something down there. I always read all my comments. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy Spider-Man, and have a great rest of your day or night. Bye. Happy swinging. Happy swinging out there, folks. This must be what my parents meant when they said they were swingers. I didn't know they loved Spider-Man as much as me.